All right, everybody. Last Flag just released their newest update and patch notes, so I haven't looked at them yet. Let's go through them here together. This information is on their Discord, so if you want to get all this good information, this juicy juice, make sure you jump into their Discord and follow along. But let's check it out. So today we're releasing a small update for Last Flag that includes a few big changes, like the addition of an Oceania server. Okay, that's gonna be good. That's gonna be good. I know a lot of people were begging for that, so I'm grateful for that. A change that lets you swipe your preferred contestant from a bot. A few balance changes and a round of bug fixes. We have many more changes incoming, but wanted to get these out to you as quickly as possible. Catch details below. Okay, so I love that we can now change. So if a bot has your contestant currently, you're just kind of stuck. They won't ever change. They're stayed that way the whole game. Now there's going to be a method where we can tell that bot to move over so we can play that contestant. That's huge. So they break it down here. Let's go. New Oceania server. We've been hearing from a number of our friends in Oceania that they'd prefer to have a server that's closer to home rather than connecting to Asia. And so with today's patch, we've added an Oceania server option to the game. The best way to anchor a match to the Oceania server would be to create your own lobby. Go to the play menu, select lobbies, create, and change your region. Okay, cool. So you might have to go into lobbies, but that's okay because in lobbies you can actually just join the overall like matchmaking queue. So no worries there. Next up, bot updates. Contestant selection. Players can now select a contestant that is currently in use by a bot, which means no bots monopolizing the contestant you want to play is a thing of the past. So good. This might mean that two of the same contestants will appear on the same team until the bot dies and swaps contestants. So you might have like two bounty hunters until that bot dies and then they'll switch. But honestly, glad that we can finally do it. Flag handling. Bots will no longer attempt to pick up an enemy flag as long as there are human players on the team. However, bots will still attempt to return friendly flags, whether dropped by an enemy or in the pyramid during the defense countdown. That's good at least. Honestly, bots would go pick up the flag and then just run it around the map instead of taking it to the base. So this is huge. More to come. In addition to the changes above, we are also reading feedback from the community on areas where bot behavior could be improved. We're actively working on a list of improvements for a future patch that will help make them better teammates. Honestly, this is needed. There's a decent amount of bots right now in the game, just depending on the time that you're playing. So these are really needed changes. Contestants. With this update, we're making tuning changes to several contestants. These changes were ready to go, which is why they're in this patch, but we are actively working on other balance adjustments. We are also keeping a close eye on community feedback as well as internal data for the entire cast being the other contestants, by the way. Please keep it coming. Feel free to drop a note on balance anytime in the feedback channel. So, Bounty Hunter. Oh, I didn't realize you can change Bounty Hunter. Let's see. Shotgun, primary weapon. Julius has been working on his shotguns. He's cleaned out the barrels so they'll shoot a bit further and be a bit more effective in the mid-range. He's also swapped in a new magazine so he can fire 5 rounds or 6 rounds before reloading. Okay, so here's a good buff to Bounty Hunter. He gets more range on his damage and gets more rounds in the magazine. That's huge. That's a big buff. That's a big buff. Knives. You spoke and we're listening. Knives has been tuned down in response to player feedback that just wasn't fun to fight against. She no longer does additional damage when attacking out of stealth. Honestly, this is a nerf, but it's important. I play knives. I like knives a lot, but depending on the contestant you're going against, you just can destroy them and they don't even get a chance to hit you because of your double jump. So nerfing knives is a good thing here. Let's see what else they did to her. Well, we loved seeing her have a variation of the classic backstab move often seen in robe-type characters. We felt this mechanic was giving her too much of an edge when sneaking up on targets, especially when going dark can be triggered in combat for an instant damage boost to your next attack. Don't worry, you can still access stealth with the same mechanics as before, and attack from the shadows spreads your targets with rapid damage, just not as much rapid damage that really made her too strong. So all they really did was you don't deal increased damage in stealth. It's a little lame, but like if you enjoy knives, it feels a little lame, but it also feels very needed. So I'm totally fine with that. Lumberjack. All axe throw. So this is his right click, where you throw the axe and call them back. After spending the afternoon sharpening his actives, Peter's axe throw will now break Rhodey's shield on pull back. That is crazy, but also probably really important. So that's awesome. His Forest Wrath ultimate. Peter's added a few leg day sessions to his workout routine and now moves faster during his big leap while using Forest Wrath. This will help him get closer to targets with his ultimate form. Honestly, here's the thing. Lumberjack is stronger than he was in the demo, but these buffs I think will help him because I've ulted on Lumberjack and just still gotten deleted because I can't catch up to someone. So I think this is really important. All right, and then we got Tango. Electrified bolts. Alejandro's bolas are now more stunning. He's modified them to increase the stun duration from 0.5 seconds to 1.5 seconds. A whole second added to that stun is crazy. His Tinkering isn't perfect though because the stun will break if his target takes any damage. Okay, so before you could stun them and keep doing damage, now it's a longer stun, but as soon as you deal damage, it breaks the stun. I feel like that's a good change. We'll have to see how it plays out. Speaking of tinkering, Alejandro's fortifies his boots to be more blast resistant. As a result, he'll now take 50% less self-inflicted damage if he steps too close to his own bazooka's explosions. Honestly, that's huge. That's needed. I feel like with Alejandro, you would ult and you just you just eliminate yourself rather than actually taking anyone else out. So that's honestly really big. All right, we got bug fixes. General connectivity. Address an issue that caused players to receive a game server disconnected error when trying to join a match. And maps. Exploits. Address the few locations on Copper Falls and Snowfield that can allow a player to get outside the boundaries of the map. And remove several flag hiding spots on Copper Falls and Snowfield that were too difficult for most contestants to reach. And then sound. Clay loves his job so much that he'd keep the commentary all the way through the victory screen. Going forward, we're muting his mic as soon as the match ends. So just a quick little bug fixes. Overall, a great patch. So quick recap, Bounty Hunter got buffed, Knives got nerfed, Lumberjack got buffed, and Tango got just a little bit of changes. I don't know if I'd say it's a buff or a nerf. It's just kind of in the mid. Obviously, it's a buff with his ultimate, but then his stun could be looked at both ways. So honestly, great changes, needed changes. I'm a little surprised we didn't see any changes for Scout as he feels so far above everyone else. But honestly, great changes. I'm excited to see these in game, and the patch comes out today. So come check it out. And speaking of today, Last Flag's doing free weekend demos every week up until the next big patch comes out in the summer. So make sure you jump in. Just go to the Steam page and download the demo version. Jump in. You'll play with everyone that's bought the game. Come have fun with us. It's a really good game. I think you'll enjoy it. But until then, we'll see you guys next time. Bye.